When did ancient humans start drinking alcohol? Have you ever wondered who the very first person was to get drunk? It might sound like a strange question, but the answer takes us back millions of years, long before cities, farming, or even modern humans existed. In fact, the story of alcohol begins not with people, but with fruit. Imagine walking through a prehistoric forest. Ripe fruit has fallen from the trees and sits on the ground for days. Tiny wild yeast floating in the air lands on the fruit and begins feeding on its natural sugars. As the yeast works, it creates alcohol. Soon, the fruit starts to smell sweeter and stronger.
Curious animals are attracted to it. Some eat too much and begin stumbling around. Scientists have observed similar behavior in modern animals, such as elephants, monkeys, and birds, after eating naturally fermented fruit. This suggests that our ancient ancestors probably encountered alcohol in exactly the same way. Long before humans learned how to make beer or wine, they were almost certainly tasting alcohol by accident. Around 7 to 10 million years ago, the ancestors of humans and chimpanzees developed a genetic mutation that helped their bodies break down alcohol more efficiently. This mutation affected an enzyme called ADH4, allowing them to digest fermented fruit better than before. Researchers believe this adaptation was useful because fallen fruit was an easy source of calories.
For early ancestors, alcohol wasn't a party. It was simply part of finding food. Fast forward hundreds of thousands of years. Modern humans had mastered fire and were living in small groups. They gathered berries, honey, roots, and fruit from the wild. Sometimes they stored these foods in containers made from animal skins, tree bark, or woven baskets. If sweet fruit or honey was left sitting with water for several days, nature would do the rest. Wild yeast would begin fermentation. Without realizing it, ancient people had created primitive alcoholic drinks.
The taste was probably surprising. Some may have disliked it. Others may have enjoyed the relaxing feeling that followed. As people experimented, they learned that certain fruits, grains, and honey could consistently produce fermented drinks. Everything changed around 12,000 years ago. Humans began farming. Instead of constantly searching for food, they settled in villages and started growing grains like barley and wheat. These grains could be stored, cooked, and fermented into beer. Some archaeologists even suggest that the desire to produce beer may have encouraged agriculture itself, though this idea is still debated. Whether or not that's true, one thing is certain. Alcohol quickly became part of human society.
Beer wasn't only for celebration. In many ancient civilizations, drinking water could be contaminated. Fermented drinks were often safer because the brewing process reduced harmful microbes. Beer also contained calories and nutrients, making it an important food source for many people. Soon, alcohol became connected with religion, ceremonies, trade, and social gatherings. Ancient Egyptians brewed beer on a large scale. The people of Mesopotamia recorded beer recipes on clay tablets. Thousands of years later, wine became central to cultures across the Mediterranean. What began as naturally fermented fruit on a forest floor had become one of humanity's oldest traditions. But alcohol has always had two sides. Throughout history, it has brought people together during celebrations and rituals, yet excessive drinking has also caused conflict, illness, and addiction. Ancient societies recognized both its benefits and its dangers. The story of alcohol reminds us that many parts of modern life have incredibly ancient origins. The first sip wasn't poured into a glass. It wasn't served in a tavern. It was discovered by chance in the wild, when nature mixed fruit, yeast, and thyme. So, the next time you see a glass of beer or wine, remember that its history stretches back millions of years, long before civilization, long before farming,
and perhaps even before the first true humans walked the earth. If you enjoyed this journey into humanity's past, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments, if you could travel back in time, would you dare taste the very first naturally fermented fruit?